too. And it's worked out pretty well. In fact, a lot of times you try to let some of the color that's showing through, show through a little bit and stuff. So that'd be, it's never not been done before, but have a whack at it. That could be fun. The colors are similar, so you are about halfway done. So, me, the way I mix colors, everything looks the same. So anyway, speaking of colors, here we come. Let me turn on my thing again. I can really see the color. Oh yeah, it looks much better. It's not too bad. This one was a little darker. Same thing as always. Got some titanium white out. Not much. I kind of made a mistake and didn't order any. And here I am squeezing the last bit out of my tube, trying to get enough to do this painting. So we'll see. Nothing new. Cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. This is supposed to be ochre, but it is out. This is oxide red light. That is, of course, alizarin crimson or rose madder deep. You are a Rembrandt person, painting with just Rembrandt's colors, like some people are. Here we are. This is phthalo green on the blue side, and this is oxide, transparent oxide back here. This is some oxide orange they gave me. Hey, sometimes you get a gift box and all kinds of stuff's in it. So they had a couple colors I never used. So I said, maybe I can make the cow color out of that. Maybe. Who knows? But you guys don't have that color, so I won't use it. Okay, I will use it, but I'm not going to tell you I'm using it. Okay, here we go with some my brushes. Big brush, of course, is going to do most of the work. Got to have some synthetics because of some nice marks going to need here and there. But a lot of them, I think, a lot of the work's probably going to end up being done with bristle brushes, especially in the grass, getting these marks in the grass, some downstrokes. I can definitely see that in here. And sometimes when you paint back in here, well, it's either, if I paint with a bristle brush, it's going to be a little scratchy and stuff, but it won't have an edge. I mean, it won't have hard edges. If I paint with a synthetic, I have the good color. It's not going to look scratchy, but it's going to have hard edges. So I'm going to have to go and do some finger work and stuff like that, which isn't bad. I like that stuff. So up here, I can see bristles work up here against the light, because sometimes bristles hold more paint sometimes when they go in and you put them down than synthetics. Synthetics kind of just push the paint. These guys can, kind of plow the paint, and then the other ones just shove the paint on top. So that's what we'll be doing. I'll have this paint eraser just in case, and then my little dot signature brush, rubber brush, to go and do final little things. So color.
Hey Jim, have you had any trouble finding your paint erasers lately? Or have you looked?
No, I haven't had trouble. Why? You can't find them?
Well, yeah, the dollar stores up here had them, and then, I always like to get a couple ahead in case I need them, and then lately they're carrying a different thing.
You can reuse these. You don't have to throw them out every time you get done.
Well, I don't, but sometimes they kind of they get a little soft after a while or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't take care of them good enough.
Yeah, scrape it. Scrape the edge.
Cut a new edge, I suppose you could on it, but.
Oh, yes, you could. You could always reuse it. Come on, it's a whole buck. You don't want to throw it down the tube.
Well, I just wondered if they were still available around you, because I've checked about 3 different ones now and I can't find them.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right.
I can always send you an emergency kit.
Well, I've got about 4 of them. I should be okay for a while.
I only have 4 of them.
Well, I was
You
going
only
to send
need
one to a
one.
friend. I was telling her about it.
I know. You know me, I take them to workshops and give them out.
Yeah, I know you're nice about that.
Yeah. Anyway, fun to know. All right, darks first. Let's see what we got the darks in this guy. We got a lot of, mostly in the grass and in the cow in the front here. This whole front section is where all your contrast is going to be really significant, where everything back in here is just got to be grayed out, grayed out, grayed out. Give you distance. So definitely a few things ones we're going to want. Let's start off with blue. I usually start off with, we're going to be doing a lot of phthalo green, but let's start off with blue and oxide red. And this will make a nice brown, red brown. So one on the red side. This is almost too red. But then one on the blue side. And what I just did is really how to do this is when you make one that's way too strong, just instead of putting more fresh color into it, just take it from the same pile you just made instead of making up too much color. I'm going to turn this one just a little less red brown ish. Like that. Okay. Next colors. Definitely I'm going to go with green. And going to do the same color. I'm going to do probably oxide red and green. I see this underneath the belly areas. I see this in crevices and areas, but I kind of see this warm green, a couple greens kind of going in this area here, and and I think I can make it fit other places, but I also want to have a few other colors. One more color with green. Well, before we do grass, of course, the grass is going to be there. This would be cad red in green. Going pretty fast here. I'm sorry. I'll tell you all these colors again. That's on the red side. As you can tell, it's really close to what we're going to need. Might be just a hair too red, but this just put so then the green side should be just right for the main body. So it's just really mixing it. Yeah, see how nice that hits? It's really pretty good in there. Okay, and let's see. Okay, one more green. And this one's going to be our cool one. Those are all pretty warm because the oxide red's a little bit warm. This will be on the alizarin. And you're going to have one on the green side, one on the alizarin side. That one's pretty much right down the middle. Let's see what happens here on this one. Okay, that's definitely on the alizarin side. I can see that going to help in a few spots here, but not everywhere. Let's get this other one on the green side. Okay. That's pretty much the cows and all the colors we're going to need for this painting. Just all going to need now is add white to these things and make up a grass color. Grass color. Gosh. I'm probably going to use a few colors there, but definitely, a simple go-to for the grass would be cad orange and phthalo green. Maybe just a little bit of red into it. That's your basic, color. We got cad red up here, which would be my other color. Just getting it, adding enough. Now I'm just going to go for a basic tone of those two colors. So it's just a little bit of green, a little bit of orange, a little green, a little orange. I'm going to mix up a little bit bigger pile than I just did. So I'm going to reboot that a little bit because I want to play with it. I don't want the same grass everywhere. Okay. As you can tell, really close, just a little bit more orange. And of course, that's pretty much my orange. I didn't even made the cow yet. I'm out of orange. Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, so that's a nice color. That's really rich. Really kind of, as you can see, it's really on the green side. I really need some more orange in there. Because even on I'm looking at my screen going, wait a second. And wait, you're like okay. Talking to myself again. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit of cad yellow to it because I think it's just a hair. Okay, that's much better. Add just a hair white. Not much, because you add white, you're going to kill it. I just want to gray it out now a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to take, this is going to be, could be painted all over that half the painting. So that's kind of why I made a decent pile of it, because I want to take those piles, do a few things, trying to get distance. I don't want to be same color here. You can't use it the same color there because the two will not give you any distance. So you can make distance. You got to add blue. You got to add white. You got to have, add red to get to the front. Make that come forwards. Oh, I just told you everything to do here. So that's what we're going to do. Make sure you don't lose my regular home pile. So the first one, I'm going to add just a little bit more red to it. Try and get it to come forward, get contrast and richness to let some of that come forward. So I'm just adding enough cad red to bring it forward. It's almost too much. That's okay. That's okay. Might add just a touch of yellow then, just to bring it back. Okay. All right. So you got that. Now we got to need to get just a little bit higher key. There's a swatch of grass right behind his head that is definitely stronger. So I'm going to add some yellow to it. More yellow. It didn't do anything. So sometimes when you got a strong color like that, is instead of keep going in that pile, I'll use up everything. All my regular colors and be able to get that. So I'm going to go with that or in between. This a little closer, this in between. This will help. That will give that contrast right in here and just pop that. And then this one back in here will be basically, I'm going to blue it out with just a little blue. A little more blue. And I can get it to go back there. Blue, if I add blue, I got to add white because the value changed. I'm going to add just a little bit of white to make up for that blue. And we'll also chalk it out a little bit. Give me that distance I want. Okay, speaking of distance, it's still a little dark. There, this got to be that value. Put that back there, put this in here, the red could go in here, then have this green, the regular mother green, go in here and kind of pull them all together. And then I got darker greens up here. So that's your grass. Took 5 colors. Well, this one's really not a color. This is supposed to really just back here in the thing. So it's really 4 colors. So one we added red to, one we added yellow to, and then one we added blue and white to. The sky's the next big thing. Okay. But before we get to the sky, let's split these piles because the sky will be coming on a little bit. We're going to get some cow colors. We're going to get some sky colors. We're going to get some background colors out of this next few things here. So, like I said, most of the colors here are here, except for the cow. We need a few more cow colors. But these guys, we're just going to add a little bit of white to get to this value of the back in here. You look at that, that's right around 6. So this is blue and oxide red. We want to take it to a 6. Right now it's at least 7, 8-ish. So more white. It's definitely a 7 and 8, a 6. So I'll take them all right about this value. So when you squint, you add white to every one of those colors. When you squint, you should not. They all should feel like the same color. There shouldn't be a big difference to your eyes. When you take the color out, they should all look really close to the same color, same gray. Definitely. There we go. Pretty close. Same thing with this one. This is oxide red and phthalo green. I'm going up to my white. We're not going to have enough to do the clouds. On the phthalo green side, should be showing up a little bit better than that. Okay. Set probably too much anyway for this little area. I'm just going to take little pieces. I don't need those big pieces to get to a 6. It's more white than when I get there. When I get there like that, I can get it a lot quicker. It's just taking half those piles. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start getting interesting sky effects. This is phthalo green and alizarin. And as you can tell, it was a good mix of both of them. But that's dark even for the sky. Back there. Let me see what this purple does. Don't really need it that bright. Like I said, I'll use up all my white and not have it.
Jim, are we going to need any of the very topmost dark colors?
These guys?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit for structure.
Okay.
But they are not going to be taking over. As you can tell, these are cloud colors and can be in here.
No, I would just like make more of the lighter colors then.
Yes, it's definitely a mid-tone painting. You know, there's very few darks are just around the cow itself and a few in the grass.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, if you don't want to, you need to get rid of those things, you can. Okay. I'm gonna bring down this blue and this red, finished off by white. This blue came from oxide red and blue. Gonna make a nice purple. This is pretty high key. This is like a 3. That's what happened to both these guys. When I started doing clouds and stuff, I didn't say anything, but I started getting 3s. But this stuff back in here can definitely be fit in here and into the land. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I was going to build pretty much everything off the sky. So here's the sky. Take up the last of my white I have until I have to go search for something. Okay. I'm going to take a bit of that and bring it down here. I think a lot of these colors just going into the sky will be, we'll get all this area here. Just by bringing a little bit of these colors into the sky and mixing them value-wise, we'll be able to get a lot of this stuff. It just, it's going to look a little strange because you're going to think, no, that color's not that color's green. It's not really a red. How come you're doing red? Sometimes that happens. This is where I'm going to put a little bit of the green. I'm going to steal the green from the grass, and I'm just bringing it into the white, the sky. I'm not bringing in very much, just enough to tint this color over. There you go. And it looks almost like that, but just on the green side. You can see that nails it. So that's it. That's really tells you how to do this. Yeah, you need a little blue one, so we'll go up here, steal a little blue, and that's all you have to do. Just steal it up there, bring it down, just like I did it right there, but you can get the blues, blue grays. Oh, pretty much everything's right there. You only need like 4 colors to paint that. Now, basically all you got to do, you get the front section is almost the same thing. No more sky, but bringing in the color one more step. So I can bring the color in. That was almost too much. I set that. I can set this. I nailed that. I just need a little warmer one, so I'll probably use a yellow version of it. I'm going to use pink here because I don't think I can get away with not using it so much. I can get that green, that thing. Basically, I'll be able to use these colors. I'm good. There's skies and there's things. Okay. I'm just going to leave that one. I don't think I need it. Just need a couple rich colors to differentiate. And basically, it's really just the greens, a couple of these purples and stuff. You don't really see them over here. You can see them here. Purples just seem to come forward against the blues, out of the blues and stuff. The cow. Let me clean off this spot area here. Cow colors. I'm going to be using a phthalo green and the cad reds, and the phthalo green and the cad. And well, just these first ones up there. You're going to be using those a lot. This guy, but the basic color. Let me steal this guy. This is cad red, phthalo green, don't have any white, just whatever I have left till I go get some. If I had white, it's gonna grade out anyway. And yeah, that could be in there, but you know, it's not huge. If I had cad yellow, let's say. Ooh. And we go, no, that's not gonna work either. What did you do? Okay, it's just chemistry. Okay, I got it. It needs more red. Okay, if I put cad red in, I know it's not going to turn right. So I'm going to put oxide red in. And that's a pretty natural color. A little bit warm yet. Maybe put alizarin in. Put a little alizarin in. Feels warm. No fit better. Okay. So those are your colors. Go with me. You know, those are your basic colors. We're just going to tone them down with a little bit of pink or purple here. And that should get us into the ballpark. So I'm just using a little bit of thickness here to gray this thing out, get a little bit of some sky into this beast. So you got this cool side, which you can start to see now. You want a little cool, but it's still in there. And then you got the warm side, which I thought was going to be too warm. You know, starts to be about the right, really about the right value. Just needs probably just to be a little more light. Let me see. That's more light. Could be a little bit, maybe just a touch yellow into it, just to warm it up. Yeah, wait. That cow's weird. Maybe green. Because of the grass, you might think about that. That there's, when you start to run into problems, look at what's around. So you got the sky. Okay, I've been putting the sky in. It's not doing a warming up. But if you start putting in the grass, it's probably reflected in there. Should stand a good chance. Instead of warming it up with yellow, warming it up with something that's has a little bit more texture will do it. Also, I'm going to cool it off one more time. It's got too dark. And that should get me in there enough to do it. Try the red version just to have that. And we'll be good. I'll go through this. Chemistry I just played with and tried to get this right. Can make some cools against some warms. Orange. So I ran out of orange. Orange. Add orange and damn it. It's cad orange and some sky will do the highlights too. Keep it simple. There we go. All right, I'll go through the colors. Even though I had more trouble with the cow colors than I thought I would, but it's always nice to have a few variations. Here we start off with blue and oxide red. came down about a 6 with white, adding white to them. Here we have phthalo green and oxide red coming down. Here we have phthalo green and cad red coming down. I think I can get those guys in there. You definitely, these kind of colors, these grayed out colors here, would be great for the legs. We got phthalo green and alizarin. Added white to it, probably a little bit way more than we did before on things, because I was going for sky, and over here the same thing. This is blue and this is oxide red and blue. This is in red. Coming down here, this looks a little too light, but it's going to go up here in the sky. Then I took those colors after we had the sky, so I brought it over here. We mixed up the grass, and after we mixed up the grass was cad red or cad orange and phthalo green mixed up in together. Then just a hair of white added to it, but not much. Then I split it off into 3 piles, 3 other piles. One I added cad red to for here to get the front edge, get some depth in the front edge of this mass. Then I used cad yellow into it to get this strip going across here, get a flat section. Then I added blue and white to this last one where I could get this back edge and push it back and start to get the distance. So I have my green set up. And I took the sky and put it down here, and I added these blues and purples and greens from up here into those guys to get the buildings and things like that, some blues or blue grays, but also to start working on this back section here. And to get the green to show up, I just added just a little bit of green to that sky. Over here, when I came down a little bit farther to get this section, this sky area to part the greens, I just added just a touch more green to it and one with just a little more yellow into it. That's it. The cow itself came from oxide red and phthalo green. I added some yellow to it, thinking that would be the right. Didn't seem like it was right, but I still worked it out with some white, adding white to it enough. Then I added some green to it from this grass into these colors, trying to, get that what's in there. It got to be green. And then the red side, the same thing. I was having trouble with it, going, as you do sometimes. Then I looked at it and I go, well, that's really cad orange in there. That's cad orange. When you add white to cad orange, it kind of goes a little cool on you. So that's what I was doing. Instead of adding white, I added sky, and there you go. We nailed it. Enough to do this cow. And then the sky basically going to come out of here. Some of the blue is going to be up here. Not going to be a big deal. All right. Questions? Oh, you're so brilliant, Mr. Swanson. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. You didn't have to tell me that. But hey, I'm going to move these things up and set this stuff up and get you going. Get us going on the painting of it now. Color-wise, canvas back there. I would go with the oxide red, probably. Kind of that, or kind of a cool red, because I don't want the green to be too rich, too crazy. So probably
Between Terra Rosa and Burnt Sienna, which one?
Terra Rosa.
Okay, thank you.
Terra Rosa. I'm going with oxide red. But same thing, pretty much the same color. Here I come. So remember those colors. That's it. That's all you get. I'm going to bring this in. And tip it up a little. There you go. You can see what we're painting. Got the cow, got the everything in there. Good, good, good. Get one more thing up and running. There we go. All right. So just tone the canvas and then draw it in. Simple little red mix. This will help keep that grass down in here, especially if you leave it a little dark back and down in here. You'll give it something to keep it dark. And the cow will be good out of that too. Get that angle, that hill. Get there. One of the things too, though, cutting this 1/3, a little bit over 1/3 for the hut, for the water. I need a straight line. You need a straight line in your painting like this. When you got a big, strong hill like this going in here, you could probably give it just a little bit of rump too. You get going here, Why I'm saying you need a straight line is because of there's an angle and stuff. You'll never, if you don't have a straight line, this painting will probably ever feel like it will feel like there's no way to straighten it. It's always going to feel crooked in your painting. So keep that in mind. I tell you, it was very hilly there too. Pretty crazy. So water, land here, just probably a little bit skinnier. Okay, there we go. And then back in here. Like that. It's going to be just a few colors differences there. I did make it a little steeper, so if I wanted to, I could bring this over a little bit. And then right above it is clouds. That's about pretty good. Yeah, drew it all out. And now I'm just going to wipe it all out. But that's how it goes. Gotta get rid of that light. But it's so high key, it's okay. Gotta get rid of the dots. Probably could have brought that a little bit farther up. Yeah. This is where all the houses and stuff are, and the little green patch there. And then there. The only thing, you got to put the cow in. Like I said, cows in. Slightly, there's going to be a, slightly downturn. But basically, like I was mentioning before, he's just a rectangle. Now, you're fine. Really, the legs are, not half and half. You got this rectangle, and then the legs coming out. They're only going like, they would be about 2/3 of his waist. Well, if I did want a bigger cow, what if I did do a bigger cow? Made it more about a cow. Because that's what it was. Keep them in the same distance here. I'm going to just bring them over a little bit. I'll just bring it, land in a little bit here and there. So he just becomes part of the land. Yeah. We'll try it. By making them bigger, though, I have to make everything else a little bigger. Okay, something like that. We'll just get us started. And then the little ones you're not going to worry too much about. Maybe I'll just bend this down just a little bit more. Doesn't have to be quite that steep. And then you got the other cows. Okay, that'll work. Building's back in here. See that dot. Water here in between. Shape right here. There. Okay. All right, the thing about this one, let's shoot for the big stuff first. The cow is going to definitely be in here, but let's get some of that grass in right away. Well, before we do the grass, we're going to go through this is phthalo green and alizarin. I'm going to start with that. Because it's one of the darkest colors. Pure dark yet. Make sure I want to get it down here at the bottom of the painting. Work it up a little bit. That'll give me a contrast when I get going. I'll be also using it in places where you need tufts of grass, lines of grass. You're gonna need it for like shadows, under his feet and things like that. Just creating that kind of stuff coming over. So you got your cow there. So get your darks in. Even there's just a smidgen of some fence and whatever landmark that is. Just a little bit of darks. There. I hope people. Now I basically have hardly any paint on my brush here. I'm just kind of marking a couple little areas there just to.
Sorry, where was that you just put that? Is that above the stream? Yes.
Yes, it's up here.
Above the
It's
stream.
above.
Yep.
Okay. And that was really light. There was hardly any paint on that. It's more oil than paint on that point. But that's just to get the darks to start to set up. I'm gonna go with, just because I do have it out here. I mean, right next to it, just the red version of it. I'm gonna use that to do the lines. Some of these lines in this guy. Just underneath the shadows. Not really lines, but more shadows. And I'll just have to paint around them. I'm not going to worry too much. There's not too much to paint around. Usually I try to have everything be efficient and things like that. I'm not going to, no tail, of course, no tail. The tail is not being efficient, being crazy. And yeah, he's a, put on a few pounds on him. Little thinner. He's not a steer. He's a dairy cow. She is a dairy cow. So. Okay. Not bad. I'm going to go through my greens now. This is the little red green. This is phthalo and cad red. A little bit more cad into it. I see those guys. Yeah, you can see it right down in here, really at the bottom too. You got that really dark little area right at the edge of the painting. But these red greens are going to pop up. I'm just going to get it in here underneath. It's just because make some room for it. It's going to just be heavier at the bottom part and then just lighten it up a little bit as it goes up a little bit. That'll be it. That color. Okay. I might look at when it was going in right here, putting in a little bit, start to work it into the cow itself a little bit in the shadow areas here. Just keeping it light. It's going to have to go really to the red side at the, golden side a little bit more. But I just want to get a little bit of green into this tone. So now I basically have lost my cow completely on this one. It's okay. I'll get them in a second. So, because the next color is going to go with the red green. This is Cad Red and Phthalo Green. So this has more red in it. And this is going to be right in his belly. This is going to start turning him right in this section here. It doesn't go too high. It goes about halfway or 3/4 of the way up. But the weight of that paint is in here in the bottom of his belly. That's where it's going to put this green at the edge of his belly, the green version of it, and then the Cad Red heavier version right into the mix. So I'll be moving those two guys around heavily at this area here to do legs, to do things like that. That's to do all the legs work, would be those guys. And I'm hoping the green will really define the outsides of the beast. So that's why I'm still using a big brush here. You know, just basically Cad Red and Phthalo Green. The real red side going into the neck, up to here in the neck, and into the face. Don't have any eyeballs figured out or anything like that. Now I'll just do a nice, solid, really good base color for this guy. This girl, sorry. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the little ones. You don't worry about the little cows. I'm not going to worry about those guys. He's going to come right into here. So like I said, just I do move. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to go into some of my greens now. I think everything else I feel pretty good about finding those guys. Are you talking to me? Quick, call Gavin. Shh. Sorry. Okay. All right. Sorry. Somebody heard somebody talk. This color here, I'm just finishing out my top row colors, really. The richness of that color is really good. No, this is Oxide Red and Phthalo Green going in. It's going to go closer to some of the darker shadow areas. You know, got the green already built in here, so that's really great. Just building these shadows up just a little bit stronger. And then the last one was when we get to the blue and Oxide Red for our final little areas and stuff here. Not much really goes in here. I mean, it's kind of a nice warm red. This oxide red and blue. I was basically using it to be grayed out as a color and stuff. So it's not a lot of places to go in now. So even putting them in here a little bit too early, probably could start to figure out where the eyeball goes and stuff like that. And shapes, but a little early. Anyway. So let's go for big stuff now. Basically, we went through the top line. The color is just like that. This painting is really more mid-tones anyway. So we're going to start off with the grass itself. All those greens we made up. Here's the one with red in it. The oxide red, the red cad red into it. I'm going to put that in this bottom section. And I'm just going to use just trying not to get rid of all the green, the darks I put in there. So it is a more opaque color. So just have to make that head a little bit longer, come back and put it in. Yeah. As I drag down, bristle brush might have done a nice job on this. But I thought I could do it with a soft touch. Let's cut around the cow a little bit. He is our hero, so he is gonna. I'm glad we start putting time into him right off the bat. So we have him settled a little bit. Bring it down slightly. This is where I had the heavier paint. Darks in this corner, so working better. I just kind of wiped out over here, but they weren't supposed to be that dark anyway, so. I'm just gonna go around the cow here just to design them out a little bit. All right. Even though I put this color in, now I gotta wipe it out a little bit, got a little strong. That's where some of the next color, yellow version is gonna go. It's gonna go heavier. So when I put it in, I'm just gonna put just a touch of oil on my brush before I grab my paint. Just the tip of my brush. And then I can wrap it right up into them again. It's gonna break that line up a little bit and bring it over a little bit into this other section here. It's going up. Okay. Tell you, when I was making this color, it sure didn't feel like it was this dark light. It looked a lot darker on my palette. So glad it lightened up a little bit. I'm gonna bring this in here and just, go back in these areas in underneath here a little bit. This color can lighten up a lot of areas. Start to, make some sense out of some of this drawing. Okay, good enough. Let's come down a little bit anyway. So work it in a little bit here and there so it doesn't feel like too stagnant of a color just coming out of nowhere. So work these two together a little bit more. So, and then here's the blue version. The blue, a little bit more blue and white added to that green. So basically, we just took these colors and trying to just get create distance just by using some richness of color and perspective of color. Okay. We're just going to leave that there. I think I'm going to dress it up with some of this dark warm brown I have in the front. Red one of these, some of the grasses and stuff. You can come back in with the tufts of grass. You can kind of see in back here how rough it is a little bit. Just by using the ground color we put up right front down in here, we can come back and dress up these greens with this little red green coming back into it. That'll kind of pull the whole grass thing together so it doesn't feel like
we did do just exactly what we did. It's, it's just separated out the colors. Using this warmth just to work it into these colors back in here, just to break it up. Okay, basically gone through pretty much everything except for the setting it down and everything distance wise and painting the cow. Okay, I'm cleaning out my brush here, trying to get some of that green, bright green out of it. Since we got green on it, I'm going to start with this middle ground here that we started with. Start painting that. And these are going to be those ones colors I toned down from the sky, made the sky, and then I added green to it, but I was working back in this section, but this time, and then I added some more green to it just to get it into this area. And that'll be the start of this right behind the hill here. And I'm going to go right into where all the buildings are, right up against the harbor there. So I'm going to put any kind of light. This one's supposed to be yellowy or green. That was supposed to be in this spot here. It looks like it just didn't go the right richness. A little bit better. Right here at the bottom of the hill, there's a little area that's looks a little funky. A little like the cows have already been there for too long down in this area, and I've did a number on it. It looks pretty muddy, so that's what that area is. I'll probably just bring up that green a little bit more right in here, just a little bit more brighter. Okay, let's stop there with that. Yeah, the buildings themselves, I'm not going to worry about the buildings. I'm just going to gray out an area up there and then come back and paint the buildings. So I'm going to go up here and do oxide, grab some oxide red light with, no, this is Cad red and phthalo green. Let me see that back in here. Oh, almost too dark. Too dark. A lighter version. And gray that, just get this edge here. Like it's easier to, put the light in the window of the buildings, because they're just a dot. They're not much anything else. What I'm going to do, okay, I got this. I'm going to add just a little of that phthalo green and alizarin together to a little teeny pile of Cad red and phthalo green with white in it to 6. probably a little lighter, but I'm just gonna add a little phthalo green mix of alizarin and phthalo green on the green side to it. Just to be these trees markings in the painting. Then on the red side, if I put the red side of that, same color, just on the red side, a little bit of red side, not much. You know, I can get these other trees in the foreground. That red will come forward when they're about the same. I can use it for a lot of the little teeny things that are bushes and stuff in here too. They're all about blued out a little bit. They're not like anything's really too crazy. Like I said, tangents, I was trying to stay away from tangents, too many running into this cow at the same part. And one of the biggest ones to stay away from, I just did, where this line will continue to his back. That is a huge no-no. And to break it, I have to break it. So I'm going to reclaim the land here a little bit. I knew that this is a little tough little area that this could happen to. That's why I was going, oh, I'll just put it back down here, keep it down here, and I won't have to play. Looked like it's coming into play anyway. So I'm just going to have to carry it around behind the, I'll do it with layering. I'm going to have the cows hip here. Then this thing's going to go behind it, and then the land, I'm just going to push it out a little bit farther, which is fine. All right. So that's starting to be it now already. I'm going to put in the couple things here. I'm going to put in the sky. Let's see if I got the right value here. And that's just this back area here, this little area here. Flat, it kind of drops down. Probably a hair too dark. I took it. Take it up. This is probably better for up here, this area. I think I'm probably too fat anyway up there. Okay. The light, and I'm going to come back with that light, basically the same color. Just a little more light in it, white into it. A little darker, add just a little bit of purple to it. When I go purple, I could say it's more alizarin and phthalo green. Just on the alizarin side, it becomes a kind of a great, beautiful grayed out purple. And that's going to be right here at the cloud line. I might get just a little more. More lizard to it. This is an old lizard. If I need to lighten it, I'll lighten it. Now I'm just going to drop down, just keep going, and do the line down in here to the water. It's just the green I was looking at right here for the water that I built a little off of the sky, off the light in the sky. It's just a hair. That's a hair rich. What I tried to do was use this color back in there just because I saw a little more green, probably from that break in the light up here. It's going to happen. But it didn't work. I mean, it was a little rich. But so basically, I just had to get it to work. Though, I mean, it works. I can get it to work. I mean, it's just using a subtlety of one of these colors or back in here, just a little bit of that and still the same color and it'll be fine. This is that blue. This I was looking here. I'm not even sure if that's a shadow or forest. This shape here, right in here. If that's a shadow from the thing. But it's going to be subtle. I mean, it could go slightly, adjustments will have to be made when we get here, back here at the end. And I'm going to go with the red. This is oxide. This is oxide red light with and blue. It came from that first pile we made, and this has just been knocked down with white, ton of white in it. And it's going to go in the far back here. Sometimes red recedes, but also, so that's what I'm thinking about, putting it right here on this back edge of things here. Working it down a little bit, and it's going to work into that green again, right in here. Blue is going to come back. So it's really just a few colors in this area. I might have to pull out some more white to lighten that up a little bit, but let's see what I can do. I'd just like to see if see what I have left over for my clouds. I'm gonna take a little bit of lizard, phthalo green and alizarin and move it in here too, just a touch of it. Just a little bit more than I had there, because I'm thinking some of these colors in here could be more of that. That's not reading. The blue's just dying out. So instead of being totally blue, now I'm putting some more phthalo green into it. They said edges, no edges. And we'll be spending the rest, a lot more time on the cow, their cow, trying to get it to milk. And put it in and then just see if I have to, this color here, just want a little dark. Oh, maybe I can make this guy darker. Tone that guy down one more time. Okay. One more darkness. One more. Darker. That's what I needed. Not much, much better. I can use that color a lot more other places over here. Oh boy, really. Okay. We have the water line here. There's just a little warmth and darkness right here. And that is, I'm just making it, that is phthalo green and the oxide red. I just made it with. Now I'm going to bring in some back the phthalo green and bringing that guy back in and just toning it down. See, it's just perfect. That color. I won't be putting in the buildings too soon, but I do want to get some color in there. Let's start off with the water. What I'm putting in is phthalo green and alizarin. On the alizarin side, a lot of white. So it's a kind of a purple. Oh, it's a little strong there. You know, it would go up here too. In the clouds, if you want to just keep painting. But I just wanted to get it in underneath the water before I put in the regular water. I'm going to just get a little bit stronger. I have just a light one. I know it would be easy to tone up a little bit. Oh, see? Tone up, but not that much. It doesn't look like much. Boy, did it jump. And the valley has to stay really pretty tight. So I'm just going to paint the bottom of the cloud a little bit with this oxide red, or the phthalo green and the alizarin mix. On the alizarin side, bottom side of the cloud, taking it up, you know, I can start getting some of the structure of these pieces of the cloud. And I'm going to come back with the sky color, which is more phthalo green-ish, and that purple. I'm going to put that on top of that So the purple's underneath. Put the green side, I'll put it towards the top. It's just a little dark. You know, just brushes just hit a little bit of the darkness. It's just scraping, ruining any subtleties I had in mind. That's okay. I want to get the basics in. Tone the corners, bring it back down. That cloud just rise too far off. No. What I'm trying to do here is use that last of that my sky here before I run out. This is the alizarin side of phthalo green and alizarin in white. And it's just not bright enough. So you got to dig out some white. It's okay. Just gonna get rid of my white dots a little bit. A lot of times you just gotta wait till everything comes together and stuff too. See what happens. Okay. Get it blocked in and then start making some changes. That's when I'll pull out the white when I really run out of everything to do. Okay, I want to get that blue spot right about here. It's that spot, a little bit more coming in. Just could use just a touch more color into it, just a touch more blue into the. Really trying to keeps the control of these colors, even in early stages like this. Okay, we go with that. Maybe it's not off as bad as I thought. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's worse. But it shouldn't be too bad, really. Shouldn't. Okay. Oh, I think I need to go a little warmer. See if this does it. Yeah. This is some of the purples I was going to use for some of the houses down in here, but also kind of when you put it up here against all this coolness, it becomes a nice warm gray, and becomes the kind of if I can feather it in here nicely, I can basically all I have to do is come back and put the light in. This color should help pop the blue too, because everything looks very cool. And so we're just putting this warm kind of a grayed out. It looks like purple on the thing, but it's just a little green in it, grass green. So it's really great. That's what grayed it out. Now I'm going to use it just to tone these corners out and get ready for, the light to really come in. But I don't want to have everything there, but it's starting to come. I think I'm going to use this since it works so well there. It'll work better in this water in the mid part. Anyway, definitely, I mean, we're going to come back in here and it's going to be just little dots of color here to put in the buildings. And then there'll be some just really nice changes of color coming in. But let's spend time is it 10-15 minutes on the cow itself. See if we can straighten this guy out. So I'm going to go back to a smaller synthetic, probably number 10 brush, I think. Doesn't need to be big. All right. Start working on some of the drawings. I'm going to get some of these mid-tones, some of the brighter yellows. Some more of these areas here, so I can get some of the structure in around the neck. I like using a flat brush because I figure a lot of these shapes just kind of tend to go from really thin to kind of fat. And that's where this kind of brush, just, does a nice job of coming in and doing that kind of stuff. Trying to get this. That should be just a little bit more right in here. Bump. You guys probably already have this cow painted because you guys couldn't wait. I know you guys. You're not going to wait for me. You're going to go right ahead and get that cow done. Forget about everything else. Now that I'm painting the cow, you're going to go, oh, I did it differently. Yeah, that's what happens. Didn't wait for me. I can make some good marks. Really, all I got to do is a few lines here in the neck and color I'm using here is the yellow version of God, how do we mix this color? We started with cad red and phthalo green. Then we added some orange to it or yellow to it. Yeah, might have been yellow and white. I go, well, it didn't look right. It didn't look right. Now I'm going, maybe it is right. Well, yeah. It might be, a lot of times it's just more colors that's underneath. It's not gonna be the exact one everywhere, but sometimes you find them underneath in here. I said I'm gonna gray these colors out a little bit. Just going through and just looking for what's warm, what's cool, really. Hopefully I have enough grass at least left over paint wise. I should be able to, you know, should be able to fix everything I'm kind of messed up here. I think it might really darks. Yeah. Always come back in with these guys into the shadows just to dig them out a little bit more. Okay. No, it's just gonna paint in some lights and do it. And I'm gonna start with a shoulder up here. So a little bit too much white, just a little more cat orange into that color. Basically, just gotta put in some highlights and paint another 20 cows. And we'll be done. Even if you touch, you know, grass up here, it's okay to get some of that color in here. One of the things about doing like ribs and stuff like this, my strokes, I'm always going to give them just a little bit of space in between strokes. Let the dark shine through here and let that be creases in the ribs, things like that. So each time I come back, I'm just going to give it a less, just a little space. Soften them up top and just soften them here. Right around his hips to really see the difference. Darkness. I probably should come back in and put a little bit more darkness right here at that spot here where his hips are. Would be better. Okay. Its tail. And just the light side. Boom. Kind of grayed out, but that's not bad. Not bad at all. This face. Yeah, that is definitely where I could use some white. I'm just going to tone it in. See if I got everything starts to fall together there. Okay. Nice. A little grass color into my thing just to get a little warmth right around his udders. I'm not going to put the udders in, but that reflective into that cool, the light of his, that's what you want. You want to look for that. It'll be more greenish, probably. Even in the back hip here, coming down. I don't need more white. I'll just, it's the way it is. It's just want to force yourself not to go with, yeah, it's white. His face is white. There's a lot of white in it. But just trying not to just, maybe I can do it with sky. Maybe I can do it with a little sky added into some orange. Here, let's see if that works. Tail. I'm gonna put it in with a gob of paint. Blue and oxide red. Try and put it in with a just a knife line. And just drag it out a little bit. I'm just taking the flat part of my knife, just pushing, rubbing these two guys out just a little bit. Pushing those guys back. Bringing the dart back in a little bit more, right in underneath the hip. Knife would be good to use just because of I'm really using it as a flat edge. I'm not cutting it or anything like that, or trying to put in a bunch of paint. Putting in and just really shoving it in and just changing a little bit of smudge there. There we go. Flying around. There's the eye. Get his ear in. Oh, gonna have to work a little bit on this one. I think I got a pretty ugly cow. I gotta get in front of
Your cow has a long neck, and I'm looking at mine, and it's got a very short neck.
Yeah, no, I gotta. It's yeah, we're in between. Yeah. Anyway, what I'm gonna be doing now is just going in and putting some of the tufts in the grasses, and there's just scratches, just kind of with my knife. Just gonna put the darks in, and just rub them in a little bit. That should be about where I want to be done. Down in here, we can come back in, get them in a little stronger. And then your other cows, I'll just go with basically smaller brush, not a small brush, but a square brush. Yep. All they got to be is squares. And just give them some legs. I'm gonna go back in and just, always work on the drawing a little bit more. I just wider neck and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, I'll bring you in and you guys can take a good laugh at it. Yeah, that doesn't look like a cow. What the heck were you thinking? But I'm gonna put some shadow in and hide it all in shadows. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll get it somehow. I'll post it tomorrow. Well, I might read too thick. But anyway, I'm looking, painting from an angle. That's my always excuse. I'm going to finish up the sky. Basically, I just got to come up with a little bit lighter color up there. Put in some buildings back in here. Finish off the cows. Get a little more detail, a little more grass thing, little spikes. Definitely work on my cow. Values back in here look good. Just as they shoot back. So let me bring it up. So yeah, you can see the back values back there are working out okay. Coming across work out all right. There's your problem child, right there in the cow. So next time, I'll work on him. He just needs its tender, loving care. That's all. Everybody loves their cow. Speaking of cows, let's see how everybody else had a cow. Who else had a cow? I know Shar had a car, Kim had a car, and only Kathleen. Everybody else left.
Everybody left?
Everybody else is gone. All those other people. It's just us. Just who painted together, worked on it.
Well,
I guess
my color needs a lot as usual.
there she comes. Let's see what you got, Kathleen. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's really nice.
Thanks. I thought my cow kind of looked like a tiger or something, but I think
You get,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
gotta
okay.
work on the face.
Yeah, the face a little bit, of course, and then a little bit on the highlights and stuff on him.
Yeah, he's a little green.
That's okay. That's okay. Now that green's okay to work in there. It should be in him. It should be in that red brown. He should be in there.
I'll
Good
just
job
make it a
on-
little more subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah. I'm looking at yours and going, yeah, I think like the way you took care of move the hill and stuff. It looks good. That's a nice solution to
Yeah.
it.
Well, when I went to print it, I just ended up cropping it and I kind of liked it. So I thought I'm just going to go with that.
And it's simpler. It's a quick read. It's nice.
But
No,
yours, I don't know. Then I was kind of regretting it, but
uh,
it's more
no.
interesting.
yeah, I like yours too.
Well, thank
I think
you.
you can get everything in there, Kathleen. That's the thing about some of these things, the way they're shot and everything else. They can be made into squares. They can go vertical. They can go horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep working on the far depth, and I think you'll be there pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, thanks. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, yeah, you got to work on the drawing on the cow a little bit more. But
Yeah,
what do you want for a few hours?
that's right.
You're close to a block in. You did pretty well.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I'm getting a little faster.
You are faster. Let's go to
Yeah.
Shar. Say Shar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay,
Hey,
Shar, you
cow.
should be teaching this class. What are you doing?
I had to laugh at you guys talking because I went to a class this week or last week, and the longest time we were allowed to paint was 1 hour.
Oh my gosh.
We had one where we only had a half an hour, and then we had one where we could only do 20 brush strokes.
Ah,
Jeez.
It was tough. So there's
yeah.
I need to work on my sky a lot. I kind of gave up on it and thought, oh,
Yeah,
later. And so
yeah. But I think if you look at your cast shadow from your fingers up there on across the top,
yeah,
that
there
helps.
you go.
You can see the value. That's the warm value you're missing up there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But other things, I kind of like the way you put the dark green in behind him. That was a smart move. That was really pushed him forward a little bit farther. I was going here. I'm going the opposite way, graying it out back there, trying to get him to do it on its own. I'm looking at yours going, that's almost smarter. I hate people being smarter. So you're off my island. Don't no more of this.
Oh,
No, that looks good. Smart move. Really smart move.
I'm not good at grass. I just can't do grass.
The thing is, just hit the big things. Don't get caught up in little dandelions too much. Think of it as just shapes, big shapes, just like clouds. Don't die.
There
big
are
brush.
some little plants out there. I didn't know if you were going to hit it with your wipe out some of those little things to give it a little air hole in the grass, or
Yeah. I was going to do that, but it ran out of time today.
okay. I kind of wondered if I shouldn't do that a little bit and just create a few air holes out there.
Oh, definitely. You move the air, and there are bugs, kind of all kinds of things hitting lights and stuff like that. So think about that. The drawing on the cow is really great. I mean, really good start on them. Yeah, you got some little bumps and stuff like that on them, but
Yeah,
the basic, really good basic
I
shape
had
and a good start.
a little too light, couple places.
Yeah, not bad though. I mean, really super.
Okay, I'll work on him.
Yeah, good job on the water. The water back there has a nice space to it too. I think you really hit got the depth just with that water, the way you put the water in. I like that.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Keep working. No more lollygagging here. Okay, I guess we're all done. No one else needs a show because they won't turn on their mic.
Sorry, because I talked to myself and then you don't want to hear me. Do you know what I've just done? For the second day in a row, I've put my arm in the paint and then rested it against my shirt. So I've got Terra Rosa all down my shirt.
Well, better than Viridian.
Only just.
Or Sailor Blue.
Yeah. Okay, here's
That's how she gets a new shirt.
Well, it's an old shirt. So, last night I tried to gamsole the shirt and that didn't really work. So the shirt went in the bin. I have this feeling that's going to happen again. Okay, pig turns into cow. There you go.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Pretty good doing that.
That worked out pretty well, in fact.
Short
I
neck.
don't really, I mean, the greens are working. Some things, yeah, he does. He looks a little hoggish, but not by much. I think, yeah, you hit the highlights on them right. When you get the highlights in on the top part of them
Yeah.
and stuff, I think that will help out take care of all the drawing issues. That's really not a, worked out pretty well. It's a lot better than it sounded. Good job on the distance is pretty good. I think maybe across the river or the water there, that one a little grayish and stuff. You're probably going to have to lighten that up a little bit more.
Yeah, it
I mean,
looks bluer here than it does. But let me
yeah,
have a look.
maybe it's just too
Yeah. No, I think
value.
you're right. I think it needs
Could be
to
the
spread
light.
out still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, of course, you got to work on the clouds a little bit.
Yep.
But I kind of like the light. The lighting's interesting. It really is kind of interesting on him. So, start with his shoulders and neck, and bring it on back. Let's see if how much you can reveal of that cow without being a pig.
Well, in fact, the cow is new because the picture with the pig was like this. So
Yeah.
the pig was somewhere down here. So the cow's over
So
there.
how's it? Is it showing through the paint at all? Or are you pretty
Yeah.
good with that?
See, you can see there's quite a lot of red in here, which was where the pig was standing.
Huh. Interesting though.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I want to see. Yeah, finish that baby up.
Okay.
It's nice. It's a really good start.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah, I got lots of work to mine. Mine is okay, but for you guys, okay, I think next week we did our landscape. We did an animal today. People next week.
People.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
little ones in the scene or something.
We'll see. Maybe. We'll see what I can torture you guys with.
Oh, I hate people.
And I think what do we got? Maybe one more after that. One more class after that. So, let's that'll make this cow look easy.
Yeah.
That's what we want. But anyway, I'll find something nice for you, and then the last week will be something relaxing we can finish off with. Nice. No, talking too much. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining today, and finish these up, put them up on the site, and we'll give you another critique and see how we do.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds
All
fun.
right, guys. All right. We'll see
Thanks.
y'all later.
It was fun.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Night.